I was lucky, I'm a computer nerd, and yet somehow I have all this. You're probably twice as fat, twice as unfit as I have ever been. Okay?
Sometimes I think to myself, why do people hate Onision so much? And then I remembered that clip, and it all comes rushing right back. Welcome back, everybody. Today we're going to look at a video that Onision just recently put out. This one is about the big news with Onision, the Wetlands, and it's about his excuses as to why he did what he did. It's called, I protected my kids and followed my neighbor's advice. So you know what, let's take a look, and as always, if you guys enjoyed the video, please like, comment below as well whether you think he's justified in the video, whether you think I'm going too far. I really love to kind of hear what you guys have to say about it. And also, don't forget to subscribe. I love seeing you guys subscribe. It makes me happy. Also, I have a Twitter link down in the description below if you end up clicking that. I only have one follower right now, and I think it might be a spam follower, so let's fix that, But without, wasting any more of you guys' time, let's jump right into the video and see what we've got here.
Hey there. So, people have it in their heads that I am the epitome of evil. I lie according to them constantly, and it's a bit frustrating.
Onision, Greg, you kind of do those things, but that could almost be forgivable. What always gets me is how much your hair changes between videos, and this might be kind of a petty thing, but when I saw the thumbnail for this video, and then when I watched this video, I always expect you to not have eyebrows. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Like, when it comes back on there, I'm always expecting to see that that's, like, shaved off.
But that's how the internet works. Like, I literally saw someone say, your neighbor didn't tell you to use a bulldozer. A small, tiny tractor thing.
Oh, almost had you there, buddy. Gotta be a little bit more careful about what words you use, or else it might look like you actually did damage the wetlands. Like you did.
Your neighbor didn't tell you to do that. And it's like, yes, he did. So there was this thing in 1995 that was passed, as I learned, that basically restricts what you can do with your own yard. And a lot of people laughed at me for saying that I did yard work.
Yeah, because you're obviously trying to downplay it. I mean, you literally just said a second ago that you had a bulldozer. Usually when people talk about yard work, they're talking about weeding their garden, or they're talking about mowing the lawn, not getting a bulldozer. All right, buddy?
But I did yard work. Like, this is what's weird about the internet, right? They know everything, you know nothing when it comes to your life. It's crazy how the internet works, but that's how it works. So I have a yard, right? And there were a ton of blackberry bushes.
Okay, so I'm following. You had some blackberry bushes, you wanted to get rid of them, so you got a bulldozer, like any sane person would have done.
And Devil's Club and nettles, okay? And I didn't remove all of them, but I removed a lot of them, all right? And my yard. Like, people were saying they were laughing out loud when I said I did yard work. And it's like, I don't understand why you guys think you know more than me about my own yard.
Well, of course we don't, man. But you're talking about doing yard work, and all of a sudden you show up with a bulldozer. And your neighbors have video of you pushing all of the stuff off of your yard into the protected wetlands. That is why people are laughing at you, and that is why, though, okay, maybe you didn't literally tell a lie, you are in a way lying by omitting information and using the wrong word.
Like, obviously I know a lot of rules now, rules I wasn't aware of before, but in 95, they passed this thing that basically says you can't do yard work.
Only in Onision's black and white functioning brain is that how that law should be interpreted. Yup, in 1995, did you hear about it was called the Yard Act Law of 1995. It officially made it illegal for everyone to do yard work. That's why whenever you go by, you never see anyone weeding their yard or even mowing the lawn, because ever since 1995, it's been illegal. And let me tell you, if you see someone mowing their lawn, call the police. They are a danger to society.
Can you believe that? You're not allowed to do yard work in your own yard.
You know what's weird? I can't believe it. Mainly because it's not true and you're talking nonsense. Also, what kind of gets me too, it keeps weirding me out. Look to the right of the screen when it plays them. You can see like the side of his body. It keeps freaking me out that I can see him. I don't think I've ever seen him from that angle before, at least not for this long.
without a number of permits and so forth. I had no idea. So I cleared out a bunch of blackberry bushes, and I cleared out a bunch of devil's club, and I cleared out a bunch of nettles. And those are all things that hurt children. And I have children. So I was making my yard much, much more safe for my kids.
Is that really where we're going with this, man? I mean, I'll throw that in there. I'll throw it in there, okay? You might have done it to protect your kids, but at the end of the day, you broke the law, okay? We don't want to hear your excuse, and your fake excuses are exactly why people are upset at you. It's kind of a joke, man. No one believes you.
And that's what the internet is currently. I saw someone literally say, "You are a pile of dog shit" to me for clearing out thorns and nettles.
Imagine this for me, will you guys? Imagine I had property, and next to my property was an endangered environment that was protected by the law. And let's say I had some thorns and nettles on my property. And what if I went and got a bulldozer, packed all that stuff in front of it, and bulldozed all of that stuff out of my property into this endangered area? And then people got mad at me. And then my response was, "I don't know what you guys are so mad of. I have kids. I'm just trying to get rid of thorns and nettles." Yeah, man, obviously the problem isn't with you getting rid of thorns and nettles. It's how you got rid of them and where you put them.
I don't get it, you guys. I'm really struggling here to understand where you're coming from.
Hey, it's okay, buddy. I know. Simple reasoning's hard, okay? It's hard to understand simple things. I get it.
Listen, it's a good thing to protect the environment and so forth. It really is. But if you put it to a vote and you ask people, would you like to protect the environment? Most everyone would say yes. I would say yes. I would like to protect the environment. But if you put it to a vote, would you like to be able to do whatever you like with your own property when you buy it? Because it's yours. Most everyone would say yes.
Yeah, that's actually where you're wrong. A lot of people would say, yeah, I mean, for the most part. And maybe in your situation, Oniisan, it might have even been justified. I, for one, believe that if you do own property, you should be able to modify that property. But here's the problem, okay? You see, with purchases, it doesn't always mean that when you buy something, it's definitively yours. Sometimes when you buy something, it's called a conditional purchase. Okay, there's a condition associated with what you bought. And in this situation, you bought the house, but along with buying that house, there's a condition that says you cannot do this with the property. And this happens in a lot of areas in the same way that if you go and you buy a DVD, one conditional statement of that DVD, and this one's created by the law, is that you can't recreate copies of that DVD, okay? Oh, but it's my property. Okay, but you kind of agreed. You agreed to the terms and conditions of what's going on here. And the same thing's with your house, man. Of course, this time, the conditions being put forward by the government, though.
I mean, within, don't hurt, people. don't be selling drugs or anything, but, if...
And right there, you just invalidated your own argument. You know why? Because you just established that some sort of line has to be put down. You can't just say, it's my property, I can do whatever I want. You just established the law. And I love the example that you chose. Well, don't be, some people would say, don't build a nuclear silo in your backyard, or don't be doing any, something weird like that actually has to do with property. But no, you said, don't be selling drugs out of your backyard. And what's funny about that is many people would make the argument that using recreational drugs a lot of the times wouldn't hurt people. Whether you were for or against it, some people would make that argument, okay? And in that situation, you laid down that example, don't like selling drugs, because it's against the law. Well, guess what else is against the law, you goof? Pushing all of your junk into the wetlands.
So, I know this is a learning lesson for a lot of people, and I think that's a great thing. But when my neighbor, he moved to Montana since he was here. I have a new neighbor, and he's very nice as well. But my neighbor said that when he first got to, and this is the guy who lives right next to me, when he first got to his property, he bulldozed everything. And he said, and that's why his yard looks the way it does now. And he's like, you should do that too. So I took this advice, and I didn't bulldoze everything. I didn't do anything nearly as dramatic as what he did, because he has a massive yard.
Yeah, dude, get to the point. I really don't care about how big your neighbor's yard is, all right? So come on, move it along.
Like, it's gigantic, so he must have had to bulldoze a ton of junk. But the internet would characterize, like, if they were, being proportionate with myself and him, they would characterize him as a pile of dog shit, according to... I wish people would calm down, Like, how do you think your houses came to be? How do you think anything came to be?
You know why people care? You know what? If a lot of other content creators out there did something that was identical, most people wouldn't care. And the people that did care, if that person came out and apologized, they would say, oh, okay, dude. Like, if they came out and they were like, yeah, I didn't know. I'm sorry. I'm going to deal with it, but I didn't know. Most people would let it go. Do you know why people aren't letting it go? Because you did it? It's because you went out of your way to get up on a pedestal and talked about how much you love the environment, but not only that, you criticized everybody else for eating meat, which is a pretty normal thing to do. You made a lot of enemies with a lot of people just because of their diet, and then you said, I'm better than you because I'm helping the environment because of my diet. And then you went to your property and irresponsibly bulldozed a bunch of crud into the wetlands. Do you not see the irony of that?
Like, a lot of you guys eat meat. You fund people to slaughter animals in the masses. Trillions of animals die because of people like you. And, I could characterize you as a monster because these things actually scream and suffer, etc. These are animals that have emotions just like you. But I'm not sitting here doing that. I did that a long time ago. And maybe you guys are in a place where you're not grown up, or you can't be an adult.
Then, as if on cue, he gets back up onto his soapbox. Like, it just blows my mind how perfect it all just lays. He is making himself such a target. He's his own worst enemy, I guess is all I'm trying to say here. It's just hilarious that he goes out there and he's in this problem and he's like, I don't understand why people are all on my case. The case is because you're a hypocrite, man. And then you go right back on the soapbox. And then he pulls this, and then he pulls this. You guys are slaughtering animals which have emotions. You literally eat meat. But I'm not gonna bash you. But I wouldn't bring that up against you. You just did.
But this is yard work. And I know that makes you laugh, but I have a yard, and I worked on it. It's yard work.
Yeah, I guess in the most literal sense, you were just working in your yard with a bulldozer, which you then used to push all of your junk into the protected wetlands. All I'm trying to say is that if there was a pro-Onision team and an anti-Onision team, over here on the anti-Onision team, we would consider Onision to be our best player, because all the guy does is hurt himself.
That's a thing. I don't know how else to get through to you. That's a thing that I did. I worked on my yard. I cleared out things that could hurt my children. And the fact that I'm getting so heavily demonized after my literal neighbor told me to do this, after my housing community told me to cut down any trees that could pose a risk, when I got permission, to do these things by the housing community, they even told me, the housing community told me to maintain my lawn.
Yeah, and if your friend told you to jump off a bridge, would you do it? Said literally everybody's mom ever at one point. But other than that, man, I mean, there's one place that you didn't get permission from, probably the place that you should have, and that's maybe the government. And besides that, they might have told you, hey, you need to maintain your law. Onision says, okay, I can only interpret that in one way. Immediately rents a bulldozer and bulldozes a bunch of junk into the protected wetlands. Yeah, man, that sounds pretty rational and reasonable to me.
They say make sure you keep your lawn nice, clean, etc. So we got the housing community, we got my neighbor, we got people all around me, except for the neighbor over there. She was different. But like, she was like talking about buying a property with me across the way that wasn't even for sale. She's a little weird. She's like, we should buy that together. I'm like, okay, maybe. And no.
I like how you're sitting here and like I'm guessing your neighbors probably know you're a YouTuber. I mean, obviously one of your neighbors even videotaped you bulldozing this stuff into the wetlands. And what I find funny is that you're willing to sit here and criticize your one neighbor, like blatantly air out how much you feel about the one neighbor, and then you're also going to throw the other neighbor under the bus for what happened. You're like, well, he told me to do it. He told me to do it. And you do it on your public YouTube channels, which have over 2 million subscribers on every single one of them, you know? Like, it's just kind of funny, and I think it says a lot about who you are as a person.
No, it's not. It's not for sale. It's not. It's attached to a house down the street, so it doesn't make any sense why she wanted to. Anyway, but she was very aggressive and strange. But anyway, I was thinking about this at the Christmas party the other day. I was like, what if people all talk to each other like this? If we were all just civil and kind to each other, you know? What if? You wouldn't go viral, probably. People love hate online. They don't really love videos that are rational and talk to you like a normal human being. But,
You're probably twice as fat, twice as unfit as I have ever been. Okay?
Now, to top it off, I have a couple questions for you guys. One are almost kind of meta questions about the channel itself. One, when Oniisan is not talking, what would you prefer in the background? Would you like just a picture of the porcupine? Would you like a picture or some videos of gameplay? I'd like to do, you know, kind of like a face thing. Of course, we'll get there. That's the goal. I just need the proper gear in order to do that. And I don't know, I'm still starting out here. We're still growing a little bit, but I've been having fun doing it. I hope you guys have been having fun as well. Other than that, I want to comment down below. What do you think, huh? I mean, Oniisan always does this, but here's kind of the real question. How self-aware do we think Oniisan is? Do we think he realizes how much, or like the real reason that a lot of people don't like him? Or do you think he really just thinks a lot of people are out to get him? I really want to know what you guys have to say about it. You know, like I said, I'm genuinely curious. And also as well, you know, I have my Twitter in the down there as low, or down in the description as well. You guys should follow me. You know, it's a fairly new one. I've got literally the one follower as of when I made this video, and I can't see who it is. I think it's a spam follower. That's kind of what Twitter's making me think. I want some Twitter followers. I've never had Twitter followers before. This is my Christmas dream. I guess it's after Christmas, but you know what? Let's make my dreams come true, huh? That's all I'm asking of you guys. No, but for real though, you know, if you guys enjoyed the video, you know, give me a like, comment, subscribe. Let me know, like I said, what you prefer in the background. I want to improve these videos so that they're best for you guys, so you enjoy watching these videos as much as I enjoy making them, you know? So, and other than that, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you have a good one.